He will soon meet with the judiciary and the General Counsel of the Bar to discuss the treatment of rape survivors in court. Now, since the television broadcast of the trial proceedings of Nigerian Pastor Timothy Omotoso, who is facing charges of sexually assaulting and raping a group of girls, there's been an outcry over the defense's line of questioning. And even gender justice organizations have warned that after this case, survivors of this crime might be reluctant to approach authorities. So to discuss this further, we're joined now by Lulama Nare, who's Chairperson and Commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Lulama, let me start here. So, of course, there's a lot of focus on this particular trial right now, but is what we are seeing playing out in the Omotoso trial, is that a common feature of how rape survivors are actually treated and cross-examined?
This is what women who come to the Gender Commission to make complaints complain about. And I think that one of the issues that the shutdown movement was trying to raise is that how women are treated by the security cluster, right from police to the courts and the sentencing.
So what we've seen there has left many people absolutely aghast and astonished, because the line of questioning is what has got many people uncomfortable, not just because it was so vivid, but because of the insensitivity. And a refrain that one has heard quite a bit over the past couple of weeks is that this almost seems akin to secondary victimization. So what's your take on that, and how do you place that within the broader context of the legal system and lawyers having to do their jobs?
Male-centered views are the ones that permeate society. This is how we have been raised. This is what we believe about women, that women are at fault, that when they are raped, when we search inside their bodies for evidence, we have to push them that hard so that we can get what has actually been lost by women. It's a male-centered view, and this is why the Gender Commission has taken this particular lawyer to the Law Society, because he is an attorney, and we want the Law Society to actually respond to the fact that we see that this guy has gone too far. Rapists, we don't know how many centimeters you have. We don't know, because you are violating us at that moment. But male-centered view seems to think that women have fun when they are being raped. And that is why we have seen defense lawyers actually asking these fun questions to women. And we are saying it's time. We have seen it. The judiciary must answer. They must respond. The lawyers must respond.
So if this line of questioning has been going on for quite some time, why hasn't anything been done about it? There have been questions asked about the role of the prosecutor. Why hasn't the prosecutor objected more vigorously in this particular trial?
This is exactly why the Gender Commission is raising this issue, because we're catching it now. Because all people, when they go to courts, our women, when they go to the magistrates' courts, our girls, when they are raped, this is the first line of thinking. And some of the magistrates, because a magistrate and the judge, the 4 square meter that they are sitting in, they have full authority on. So whether we can write to the Chief Justice, we still have to go back to the judge that is presiding there. And this is exactly what we have done as a Gender Commission. After we have met with the Magistrates Commission, they told us that judges in their courts, they are the authority. And therefore, whilst we have been marching, we have been trying to get the president to have an attention and give us the attention. The judiciary is independent. And therefore, it is time for us to turn the system against the people that are using it. And that is why we're asking Law Society, haven't you gone far? What are you going to do with this lawyer? What are you going to do with the lawyer Briggs? The Briggs lawyer, the rapper, also asked the same question. The 13-year-old that was raped, in mitigation sentence, they asked, this girl was not a virgin. Does it matter that I am raped? Should I be asked whether I was wearing a short skirt, whether I was wearing a napkin? Do we ask 9-month-old babies that we rape in South Africa whether they were wearing a napkin? Because they were wearing a napkin, that is why they were raped. This is male-centered view. and the Constitution is clear. We're calling for gender equality.
So, as with regard to Advocate Doberman in this instance, what exactly are you asking the Law Society to do?
The Law Society must reprimand Doberman. He is registered with them. They must answer the question that society is asking today. Hasn't he gone far? Because we have seen that the presiding officer, the judge, that we are applauding as the Gender Commission actually, that it is actually rare that we find even the presiding officers, Khalimela, or talking against what is happening, because the courts are there to find out what has happened. But the courts, they know they are bound by the Constitution. They can't go that far. This is secondary victimization. And therefore somebody has to answer. The Law Society must answer whether they are going to allow this man to practice the same way that he is doing, and if the law in South Africa actually allows us to violate women, raping them and then asking them if they did enjoy it, how many centimeters was the rapist's instrument of destruction.
And then the other issue that stood out was the clear intimidation that the victim obviously had to go through. And this was happening outside and inside the courtroom. At some point during the proceedings, some people in the court had to be asked to stop or refrain from performing certain actions and saying certain things. So it brings us to the question, how much support and what type of support is there for rape victims in preparation for trial and, of course, during that trial period?
First of all, we have established that NPA has actually is supporting all our girls, because we have about more than 30 girls who are going to be speaking on this trial until December. And what we are raising, we have also written yesterday to find out the psychiatrist support, because we all know cults, we all know religion, we know the customs, we know the sangomas that are doing this thing, that they know that they have a hold on the parish, the people that go to their churches. The sangomas have a hold on the people that they are busy initiating, and we need psychiatrists that can understand how cults and how people that do this, that groom kids, how they should be treated in our courts. And this is our test case. The South African Constitution, must prevail.
And just finally, if you could weigh in on our question of the day, perhaps, we're asking whether there should be a change in the way in which victims of rape are cross-examined in courts. What's your take on that?
This is our bodies. This is our 51% of South Africans are women. This is our bodies. Rape is standing right at our doorstep, on our feet, with our children. They rape our children, they rape our babies. South Africa, this is your chance. The judiciary, the system, the police, you have been promising that you are going to look after the South African citizens. It's your time. Rise to the occasion. It is not fair that we have been experiencing this. This has to stop.
Lulama Nare, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. Lulama Nare, Chairperson and Commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality. And don't forget, do weigh in on our question of the day. We're asking you whether you believe there should be a change in the way victims of rape are cross-examined. Do send us your views at Morning Live SABC, hashtag Morning Live, and we'll have some of those comments to share with you after 8. For now, let's take a break.